It is shocking seeing that flights are on sale right now. Who's traveling? I feel like I'm living my 90s child dreams out right now. I should go grab my caboodles and my petite miss makeup and really show you how it's done. Just kidding. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome for the first time. Thanks for joining me. Today I am doing a little bit of dive into some of the luxury makeup products that I own. Some of them I have tried, a lot of them I have not, just never came up. I think also too, when it comes to really expensive products, I feel this level of hesitation to use them because they are so expensive, which is so backwards of how I should be approaching this. Things were bought and are meant to be used because if you don't use them, they go bad. I need to get out of that mindset. I am totally the type of person who will buy a new notebook and then stress about starting the first page. Like nothing could be good enough to start the first page of a new notebook. Anyway, that's just the psychology of myself. Shall we? I feel like maybe I need to clean my hands because I was eating potato chips. A lot of beauty brands seem to ignore influencers in Canada sometimes, or at least I've noticed over my past 11 years that it has been a real uphill battle to get the attention of brands and convince them to work with you. And most of the time they don't want to pay you. That's neither here nor there. We are going to start with the Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclat Blur Primer. This is very pink and I have a feeling it is going to be very scented, which is not my favorite. Is there some sort of correlation between high-end brands and using overly scented or overly scenting their products? Why is this turning my skin pink? Because it's pink, I guess. Honestly, I thought this would smell way more fragranced, but it's actually isn't offending me. So this is a good start. This feels really nice. Just wait, I'm gonna find out if they don't even sell it anymore. Disclaimer, I did not check to see if any of these products are still on the market, so proceed with caution. Now I have a couple of options for foundation. And I'm like, should I do my eyes first? Nah, whatever. So I have the Touche Eclat All-in-One Glow Foundation from Yves Saint Laurent, but I also have the Clé de Peau Beauté Cream to Powder Foundation. But you know what else I also have that I did not grab? Yves Saint Laurent foundation stick, but I think I also have like a darker one for contouring. Whoa. Whoa. Clé de Peau one is making me nervous because I got to take it out of the actual package first. Maybe I'll end up liking it and wanting to use it a ton. Although Clé de Peau, in my experience, has been very exclusatory when it comes to their shade ranges. So you got a little doohickey here and then contains like a little thing, and then you pop this in. So when you open it from the actual plastic for the first time, it's like fresh. I'm gonna just do a little pump of this to see what it looks like because I'm curious. Oh wow. First of all, that is not a skin match for me. Oh shoot. Why do I always do this to myself? I don't bring any sort of Kleenex or anything in here when I'm doing this stuff. Oh yes, I do. I have Snoopy Kleenex. Bless your heart, Snoopy. Anyway, I think this is too dark for me currently, so we are going to, I think this might actually be more my speed. Clé de Peau Crème Eclat Radiant Cream to Powder Foundation in 10. Okay, we can use a little sponge that comes in this, I guess. What the heck? Oh, it's a little light. It's a little very light. Oh, this is weird. I like to preface this by saying I am the type of person who is more into skin tints than I am foundation. And I don't know, it's like doing this weird thing where it like indented in one spot. Okay, so far, not loving it. I feel like I look like a ghost now. I don't know, there's something about cream to powder. I want creme. Give me all of the creme, not the powder. Maybe I should try some of this, but tone it down with the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. Just gonna do one little pump. which is actually a big pump. And then a little squirt of the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer and Petal. And this Touche Eclat is in B40, is that the color? I don't know, man. I'm gonna use my Eco Tools Ultimate Buff brush and just mix that up and put it all over my face. Okay, this brush is amazing. When I was in the US last, right before everything went down, I went to Target and bought a few makeup brushes because I've never tried Eco Tools before. I have to say, it's a very nice brush. Oh, I like that way better, but maybe because it's not so crazy white. Whenever I think of YSL, I always think of their lipsticks, which are heavily scented. But I have the Tom Ford Skin Illuminator in Firelust. I have not used this in a very long time. I'm gonna use another Eco Tools brush and just dab a little bit of glow on. I thought I would kind of use this in lieu of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, but this one's a little bit more tan and it does not smell good, so I'm kind of wondering if it has gone bad. Yeah, it doesn't smell great. Let's keep putting it on. It does look pretty though. I guess you could just mix that in with your foundation, etc., which I did not do, but that's okay. This is the YSL. I'm gonna use the Eco Tools again. Oh, this seems quite red for me, but you know what? We just keep buffing it out and it might just work. Actually buffed out really nicely. Ugh. Except on my chin. It's turning red, but that's just because my skin is so sensitive and it'll just take a minute to calm down too. So keep that in mind before you're like, Jesus, Sandy, what are you doing? I mean, to be fair, that's a very fair question to ask just because half the time I don't really know myself, aside from making myself incredibly red looking. It's okay, we're gonna go back and highlight over this because I feel like I just made my nose look bigger. I just sometimes think that luxury products don't put in as much effort into their formulas because they are already riding off of a known name. And a lot of people who want luxurious products but can't necessarily afford to purchase like a bag or something will go and buy a lipstick or a perfume because those are much more attainable. And oh my god, my lips are so dry. Okay, we're gonna use a $45 lip oil. When I found out the price of this, I was just like, who and why? It was sent to me. I don't think I would purchase it because I don't believe it to be that life-changing. But what I was saying is that a lot of times luxury products, I don't believe that they try super hard on their formulas because they're riding off of their names because they're already well established. And I say this having gone to University for Fashion Communications, working in the fashion industry, seeing price points, and like I interned at Gucci in Toronto, and just the whole psychology of selling luxury goods versus like what it actually costs to make them. And I mean, obviously like couture is a different story, like that's actual craftsmanship, but cosmetics, there's no need for them to be that much money, you know? It doesn't make any sense. But I think I am going to do my eyebrows now because I want to. I have a few brow products to try out today. I have a Dior actual brow kit, which I've never used, and a brow pencil from Dior that looked a little bit dark for me. Ooh. I have my Hourglass, which I've recently refallen in love with. I know it's not necessarily like luxury, but it's a higher price point. I think it's like $30 some for this. Is that it? I can't remember. And then a Charlotte Tilbury gel. So this is in brown, all in brow 3D Backstage Pros kit, a long wear brow contour kit. I'm gonna actually just use this comb and put it in like this weird gel thing. See if I can kind of get like, brush up those brows with it, the wax. Oh my god, my eyebrows are kind of pink from that primer. Oh, weird. Oh shit. That is too dark, I think, for me. Ay, caramba. Whew. This combination of Foundation is really sinking and creasing into my wrinkles. All right, we'll keep going with it because we're luxurious here. One of the things that I learned in fashion school too is that luxury houses mostly get their money from accessories, smaller leather goods, because some of them are still more approachable than maybe say like a full-sized bag or whatever. Sunglasses, basically small goods and their cosmetics. Typically perfume is the thing that carries a fashion house because, like I said, it's the most accessible product that people can afford and justify, because you wear perfume every day and it's still more approachable than like a $2,000 handbag, right? Like people can come up with, I don't know, what's the going rate for perfume these days, like 80 bucks. Still an extravagance, but not nearly as much as say a handbag or something. I don't know, man, these are so dark. And perfume costs like next to nothing to make. When you buy perfume, the money is really just, at least for the larger fashion houses, is going to pay for the ad campaigns, because usually they get celebrities and like very known models to do the commercials and advertisements. Open up any magazine, if you still read magazines, a lot of the advertisements are for perfumes. And at least back when I was younger, they would always have a flip out thing with like a perfume sample, which, oh man, some of those magazines were just so stinky. These brows are quite dark. Can't say that I'm loving them, but they are what they are and I will live with it. All right, let's move on to the eyes. I am going to prime with the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base, but I haven't really used this much. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I sometimes think luxury items are a bit of a scam. Like, what is with these eyebrows? So I got my eyeshadow options here. This looks super nice though. Again, like I said, I don't know if any of these colors still exist. Imagine some of them are quite old. Like I do have some Dior palettes, but I think they are so old. They're definitely for a limited edition. Like this is the polka dot palette, which is gorgeous, but again, I don't think you can buy it anymore. And then also, which one is this? Magnetize. I think this might have been a Christmas one. Never used them. Clearly they're still completely new. I do have the neutral eyeshadows. Eye Reviver, Backstage Pros. Okay, I guess I can use a combination of that. But I mean, like, this is so tempting. Save that for another day if anyone's interested in it. This one even comes with its own little liner at the bottom here. All right, I'm going to take this top shade, because they don't have any names. This says it's the base and the primer, so I don't know. Using an Urban Decay Iconic Eyeshadow E205 brush. Yeah, it's strange to me, the allure of designer things, and I say this fully as a person who is allured by these things, but I think a lot of my allure of it comes from just having such a deep appreciation of fashion. I went to school for it. I was obsessed with watching fashion television when I was in elementary school in the 90s, and yeah, like my dream career was to be a comedian, fashion designer when I was a kid. Look, I just touched my face and that's how. Little red spot there. My dream profession was to be a fashion designer comedian. It's not even a real profession, but little Sandy Jo, that's what she wanted. And unfortunately, I did not make her dreams come true. All right, this is the Christian Dior Show Mono in 530 Gallery. It says these eyeshadows are only good for 6 months. Clock is ticking now. I don't know if it's like the eyeshadow primer, but I just find my eyes are looking really rusty. What if I did this? Anyway, I guess becoming an influencer and like I did sew a bunch of my own clothes too makes me slightly closer to that dream. Little sponges. Oh, there we go. I don't know if I like that NARS eyeshadow primer. I don't think it's very good. I have this YSL Full Matte Shadow in 3. I'm gonna put it in the crease here and then blend her out. This is a Sephora Precision Point Blending. I need something more dense. Here, the eyeshadow, 240 eyeshadow from Fenty Beauty. All right, that's a bit better. An interesting formula because it kind of reminds me of liquid lipsticks, but for the eyes. I am going to use this Army Green from Tom Ford. It says it's called Smoked Opaline. Don't know what its story is. On the back it says do not photograph. I don't know why, but we're using it. Ooh, that's quite nice. That's really patchy. I kind of feel like it might be the fault of the eyeshadow primer, but look at that. Blend my eye off, we'll see. Do not like that. It's very weird. Not sure what its problem is. I wiped a bit of it off, so let's give it another whirl. I kind of feel like I'm going for 80s high-end lady. This is a beautiful green though, but I'm just not feeling its power on the eye. All right, I'm gonna try the Breathless Tom Ford as a topper. Whoa, I just mashed that pretty good. Just looking at my eyeshadow close, I'm like, this is not it. I feel like this happens every time. Whatever, I'm going for it. I'm staying with it. I'm gonna put a little bit of the Lise Watier Metamorphics liquid into the Tom Ford silvery eyeshadow. See if I can make it a little bit more oomphy. I'm gonna use the MAC 230 SE. I looked at it online and it does not exist any longer, but just because something doesn't exist anymore doesn't mean I'm going to stop using stuff that I have. That marginally helped it. Ooh boy. I feel like I'm gonna be on an 80s record cover or something. These eyeshadows, slightly disappointing. Maybe let's try some of these. It's kind of a grainy color. Dior shadows are better than the Tom Ford ones, dare I say. Well, I'm gonna stop struggling with these eyeballs now and start struggling with eyeliner. I got some fun ones that I have used before. Actually, I have a red somewhere too, but I don't know where it is. I'm really feeling the blue lately. It's a little bit more interesting. And maybe I should use the pink just for fun. Why not, right? Okay, I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Gel Eyeliner and Black Ink and use the Sephora Angled Liner to revive this cat eye. Sometimes I just feel like a child playing with makeup. That's truly what happens when I'm just going outside the box, or my box at least. Uneven. We're just having a nice time. I hope this is a reminder that things don't always go right and you can always change course midway through. And it's also good to try new things because you just never know. Never know what might go well or what might be a fucking mess. In my case, most things are fucking messes, but that's okay. Just can't say that this eyeshadow has been the easiest to work with. Not to place all the blame on the eyeshadow, but to place the blame on the eyeshadow. I have been struggling. And I'm not completely inept at makeup, so. Works for me, for now at least. I think I'm gonna need to put eyelashes over these bad boys. I'm going to go with the, holy shit, these glamour lashes look wild. The Charlotte Tilbury Glamour Lash. Oh, it even comes with a little glue. I forgot to put on mascara though. I'm just gonna do a quick little swipe of my lashes with NARS Climax Mascara. Do not have the eyelashes to carry this look. So I'm going to trim off just like one tiny section of this because, oh boy. Okay, I trimmed them and I think they're okay now. I mean, I still feel like the lashes are wearing me versus me wearing the lashes, but we must move on. So I think I'm gonna put a little bit mascara on this inner corner because Just seems a little bit lacking. I'm going to use this Dior Show waterproof eyeliner right in the inner corner here. This is what I have for blush, so we're just gonna have to go with it. I think it's gonna be really bright, but we just, like I said, we just have to work with it. I think I'm going to conceal first and then do a little bit under eye. I am not one to over use concealer, but since we are clearly already going gung-ho here, I'm just going with it. I'm going to use this Flawless foundation brush, although I kind of feel like I need something smaller. The Heavenly Luxe Pointed Precision Complexion. That is more along the lines of what we need here. Really cutting those lines, cleaning it up. Oh, sorry, that concealer is the Radiant Creamy Concealer in Affogato. So I'm gonna go back with this Dior palette and dip into the greeny color in this and add a little smoke to my bottom lash. The Charlotte Tilbury Eye Cheat for Bigger, Brighter Eyes. Because I feel like my eyes are just disappearing. Look at these heavy lashes. I forgot one step. Prism Libre. I never use setting powders, but
here we go.
We're doing it. Now, blush and bronzer. I'm going to use, I have these, which are both Tom Ford, and they both look very, very ready. Wish me luck. Got this Heavenly Luxe Wand Ball Powder Brush from IT Cosmetics. I'm going to look orange, maybe. Hi. Okay, it's not bad. That bronzer was in Bronze Age. I'm going to use this fan brush for my blush because it is a stripe right in the middle and I don't want all three of these. Here we go. Okay, my battery died, so I'm trying to remember where we were. I think I was lightly dusting on some of this hot pink blush to get my full-on 80s look going here. Maybe we'll do a little zhuzh over the nose. It's highlight time, bitches. I have a Clé de Peau highlighter and I tested it out and it's very glittery. And then I also have this Dior Nude Air Luminizer in 003. That seems much nicer. Okay, I'm gonna use the luminizer. It's actually pretty nice. I would use that again. What else? I think we're on the lips. I have quite a few lip products. I have a Chanel lipstick that I bought when I was still working at Holt Renfrew, so this thing is probably so old. I have Tom Ford. This is one of my favorites. I have no idea what the color is called, but it's like a nice nude. And then I have some Dior glosses and also a Dior lip liner, which is quite moody looking. But I also have this other Tom Ford thing that I'm like kind of stoked on. It's a little lip kit. Ooh, so I dropped the brush. I didn't use any Chanel stuff, but I also don't know if red is the direction that I would like to go in with this look. So this lip thing is like an ombre kit. I'm gonna contour my lips here essentially. Put the darker color on the outside. So I've lined them with the darker color and now I'm going to put on the lighter color. I do really like this product. I don't use it that much because obviously it's pretty involved. I think the effect that it gives is really beautiful. However, I do think you could probably achieve this with just a lip liner too. Rather than, I don't know what the price of this is, but I'm assuming it's not cheap. So I started listening to another podcast. I feel like all of my YouTube videos are like, so I was listening to a podcast. and it's on the actress Tracy Lords, who was in the porn industry when she was a child because she had a fake ID. I know her from the movie Crybaby, which I believe is a John Waters movie. Oh, she was the rockabilly dream. She's such a babe. Anyway, her story is really sad so far. I would like to read her autobiography. I think it would be really interesting. But anyway, I'm listening to this podcast about it right now. And so far, digging it. Okay, so this is Dior Gloss in Bonheur. Just want to put like just a little bit. I'm shocked. I'm shocked this is where we got to, because it was really looking dire there for a little bit. I'm kind of obsessed with the way my lips look right now. Okay, overall. Not sure the bronzer is my right color, but I would have to say that there are quite a few products that I think were really awesome and some that were forgettable. Here's my little container of all the things that I use. Anything that blew me away. I mean, some of the things that I really like, I already knew I liked, which was like this lip ombre set from Tom Ford. The Dior Skin Nude Air, this is the first time I ever used it, and this was really lovely. I think this is a highlighter that I would probably reach for more often now. Pleasantly surprised by this too. Feel like it did set a good base for my skin. However, I am not really a foundation kind of gal, so I prefer to use tints such as this. And I think combining it with, this might have been okay, but I already put down the base of the Clos de Peau. So I think this cream to powder foundation, I don't think it agrees with my skin personally, but I also really liked these Yves Saint Laurent foundation sticks. I thought the contouring with it turned out quite well. Shadows, The Dior ones I think were better than the Tom Ford ones, but this Tom Ford makeup was from a while ago, so who knows, maybe their formula has changed too. And the Dior brows, I mean, they look better now, but I think it's because I actually have makeup on, whereas before it was just like, whoa, those are dark. This, I still don't, I never barely use powder, so I don't really know how I feel about it. It's just a thing that exists in my collection that I don't necessarily use. Cool story, Sandy. All right, well, thanks so much for joining me experiment with a bunch of overpriced makeup, and I hope to see you around here soon. All right, toodles.